Today's session will also be recorded on video and will be sent if you need any types of video so you can share with your customers or the other colleagues. Um, the last, actually we skipped the last month, but on February we did a webinar on the new features on BioStar 2.2. This month, we planned a webinar for the time and attendance, which was placed last week. For the access control part, we decided to go over the basic BioStar 2 access control features, just in case you're not really familiar, or if you have any, just in case you have any additional questions on our system. So we, as you may know, recently have released the BioStar 2 version 2.2.1. So before we go through any new features or the other, let's go through about BioStar 2. So the overview on BioStar 2, there's a reader. This is the BioStation 2. Recently, the BioStation L2 was released also. We have the A2 and also the 5 types of BioEntry devices: BioEntry Plus, BioEntry W, BioLite Net, XPass, and XPass S2. So with this device, you can connect to a door lock, an exit button, also to a door sensor, and you can control all these features. Now the device communicates through the TCP/IP to the BioStar 2 server, which is a web server. BioStar 2 is a web-based open security platform. Now, difference with the BioStar 1, the BioStar 2 automatically syncs the user's data. The data means the access group features normally to the device. So there's no more irritating user transfer or access group transferring to the device. It just gets automatically synced. I will discuss this about later, but the user synchronization can also be disabled, but the access group synchronization, it's always on. Now these devices can be connected to our I/O modules, the DM20 or the Secure IO2, which also can be connected to through the Wiegand card readers or third-party access control panels. We can also connect alarms or detectors on the TTL input. We have a cloud feature for the BioStar 2, which you can communicate with your outside from a different network where the server exists, or, I mean where the server is, or you can use your mobile phone, install our BioStar app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. You can communicate with the web server on a remote area. Now also we provide web APIs which you can use to integrate with third-party systems, with ERPs, workforce management systems, which includes the payroll. We are planning actually to release a local version of the web API, but I think it will need some time. Maybe in the fall or winter. And so this is the overview overall of the BioStar 2 system. Now, as I mentioned before, the BioStar 2 is a web-based open security platform. It has a lot of benefits compared to BioStar 1 or other systems. This part, not much to explain. This is how it is. I will move on to the next slide, which is the BioStar 2. Now, if I briefly explain about the supported operating system and platform, normally BioStar 1 only was supported on the Windows, but in BioStar 2, the Windows is also available. We are also preparing a Linux version coming soon. I don't have the actual date for now, but coming soon. We use the DBMS, the SQLite, but in the future, I mean, if you already may know, the Time&Attendance uses a different kind of a DBMS, which is a MariaDB. We think having 2 types of DBMS on one system it's not quite efficient, so maybe in the summer or maybe September, we are planning to change the access control DB to also to MariaDB. And also migration tools will also be provided by default. This is for just explaining how many devices can be added. 1,000 devices can be added to BioStar 2. 8 cards can be, if you see here, 8 cards can be allocated to a user. A user can have 16 access groups, and an access group can have 128 access levels, which allows doing the access control in a very flexible way. Now, in the BioStar 2, there's a new master and slave concept. In BioStar 1, you had to also send all the user information, access group information, to a slave device which was connected to through RS-485, which is very slow. We had a lot of issues on this, so we have changed this concept. So now the slave device works as a dummy reader. Once it reads a template, it sends it to the master device. The master device does the matching. It checks all the privileges and sends back the result to the slave device. Now you can set this RS-485 connection mode from the device configuration. You can set it as a master or a slave or default. A default is when you just use it on a standalone, or it changes to slave once you connect it to as a slave device to a master device. Now, Wiegand, this is basic explanation of the Wiegand. If you're not familiar, please take a look. I will not explain the principles or the theory of the Wiegand. I just want you to know that we have currently we have 4 predefined Wiegand formats, but in the future we are going to add more predefined formats. You can also add your own format that will fit your card format. For now, and this is the configurations. You can set the ID field. You can have more than one. You can set the total bits from here. The reason it's gray because this is a predefined format, but when you create your own, you can change your total bits. You can place your ID fields. You can set the parity bits and where the parity bits will calculate. I'll show you with demonstration. Now, the cloud. Some of our partners or some customers and users, they sometimes misunderstand. Well, actually, the word cloud actually makes that, but this is not a service where you put your BioStar 2 server on the cloud. It's actually kind of a relay server. So if you have a server somewhere, if it's connected to the internet, it can register as to use the cloud service. Then we send kind of a verification mail, and if you verify using that email, you get your own domain, subdomain, using your own subdomain. For us, it's suprema.biostar2.com. You can use your own company name or project name to create this subdomain, and if you enable the cloud, you will be able to access from anytime, anywhere with any device. Well, actually, just PCs having web browsers and mobile devices with the mobile app. Now, so it's a relay server, so you can access through the domain, and from our BioStar cloud, it finds the corresponding web server and it connects to that exact server. Now, the mobile BioStar 2 mobile, it's a mobile app. You can do user management, door management, monitoring, alarm event. Okay. So I hope you can just download and check our features. Because of the limitation of time, it's hard to go over the features. But as you can see, you can create a user, you can delete one, you can see the monitoring, you can see the alarms. So please check out our mobile app. Now, if you talk about the actual access control parts, normally you have to manage the users. In the older versions, or even some other companies' access control softwares, you have to manually transfer the users to the device. Also did our BioStar 1, which caused a lot of inconvenience because the user transfer speed was not that fast. So maybe if you're sending 1,000 users having one fingerprint, it was maybe 20,000 templates. No, actually it is 20,000 templates. and it took maybe 20 minutes, up to like 40 minutes. Sometimes it could be an hour. It's almost impossible to send it through a device connected to RS-485. But you can see it on our knowledge base. I will show you it later. We have hypertransfer for the users. We also have the feature for automatic user transfer. So it automatically synchronizes the user. So if you create a user on the server, it will directly be transferred to the device. Also, even while sending a lot of templates to the device, you can still do the authentication. So it will not block um, any kind of authentication. You can just still use it if you have your template inside the device, even though the templates are being sent through the server. Now, when creating a user, also some countries, this is they need to have the credentials. Well, in this case, our fingerprint templates not stored inside the device. In this case, we provide smart cards. In BioStar 1, it was called the template on card, which is a feature where you store the template inside the card with other additional information. Now in BioStar 2, we have two types of that smart cards. The first one is called the secure credential, actually the secure credential card. Second is the access on card. In these two types of cards, there's a new concept. We are now using a feature called the secure ID. In the past, we have been using the CSN, but now we are just created a new secure ID, which is a specific type of a number, an ID, stored not for the CSN, but in some block that a user wants. So the reason we implied this is because the CSN is very vulnerable sometimes. If it can be easily duplicated because it's not protected. But in this case, it will be much more protected if you use the secure ID. I'll show you what's different. In the BioStar 1 template on card in the top, the CSN was here. We used the CSN. We put user information here in the CIS 456 block. We stored the templates in here. We could, for the MyFair 1K card, we could have we allowed to store the two templates. But in BioStar 2, you can change. The secure ID is now stored in this. For example, you can make it to store it on the block 4, or you can change it to block 20. This part is where you start, and the basic information will be recorded, and the templates will follow by. If you start from here, you can't use these blocks, and you can only use the ones on the back. So you will have to calculate, because our templates are normally 384 bytes. The templates that goes into the card normally is 300 bytes. So if you start your secure ID here, you will not be able to store two templates but only one. So if you set the start block, we call this the start block as 62, then you will not be able to store any kind of template. So please, you have to manage the position of where to start to store these credentials. Now the access on card, we stored the fingerprint template, the secure ID, and the access card. Well, in the secure credential card, you can change the secure ID to any number you want. But in the access on card, we have decided to force to use the user ID as a secure ID because this is a better way to manage the card, since the access on card, once it gets issued, it's hard to manage because it doesn't need any user information inside the device or the server. It can just be working on it alone. So also user ID is stored and the PIN, plus the access group, and also the valid date, the expiry date. So you don't need any kind of biometric data or even the information inside the device. You can also delete it from the server, but this is optional. But normally we don't delete on the server because it's hard to manage the users. Now the difference of the secure credential card, it's mostly the same, but it doesn't store the access group or the expiry date or the valid date. Because of this, this card cannot be just used without any user information inside the device. You will still have to have the user information corresponding to the user ID. So if I issued a secure credential card, my user ID is 2, then user information inside the device has to be there for the ID number 2. So that's the difference. The benefit is that you can change the access group, the valid date, even though it's issued in the card. So the secure credential card is normally used when you still want to change the access control privileges, but don't want to store the biometric data into this server or the device. Now, this is the user management. We also add a custom field for the user, but I'll show you in the demonstration. Now, we created a user. The users are inside the device. We created a door logically and actually allocate relays and things. Now, you have to configure the access group, the access control. Now, in the BioStar 2, you can create 2 types. You can create the access group, the access level. Well, you can all create these, but the big picture is the access level and the access group. Now, I will go backwards to explain this. Now, for the access schedule, this means this is just about time. It's about the schedule. You can set a time. Now, this access schedule, it can have it can have 4 types of holiday groups. The holiday group can have a lot of many holidays. So you can set a specific time for just normal days, weekdays maybe, and weekends. You can also set what you're going to do, what the time is going to be on holidays. Now, using this access schedule, you combine it with a door and you create an access level. So an access level is a combination of door group or a door. So I will say just doors. So it's a combination of doors and access schedules. So an access level, you can set main gate from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 16th floor, 24/7. You can set it like this. Now, so this will be just for the privilege itself. Now, if you combine this with the user, now you can have the whole access group and do the access control. Now, if you can see, from the access group, you combine users and you combine it with access levels, which has doors and schedules for time. So if you create an access group, it means a user can access to a door in this certain time. Or if it's a holiday, then this user can access to the door on this time for just holiday. So let's say a holiday, Christmas. If you said Christmas, nobody can go inside the store, then even though, and let's say Christmas was Thursday. Now, I said on the time period here, for Thursday, I can go inside the door, this store, 24/7. But if that Thursday is a holiday, which is Christmas, then I will not be allowed to go to this store. This user cannot go to the store in the holiday. So it's up to you how to set the privileges, but just remember, it's all about which user can have access or privilege on which store, on which time. So if you set that, that's mostly done of the access control. If you set it properly, then the users will be able to go inside on the certain time. They will be able not to go inside in a certain time to a certain door. Now we have zone features. These zone features, you will have to activate the access control license. It is not included in the free version. You will have to purchase a license key, and then you'll have to activate it. Now in the zone, we have 2 big concepts, which is a local zone. A local zone means a zone created only devices connected through the RS-485. In this case, the master device will be the master device for the zone, which will do all the judgment. And all the slave devices here will work as the zone is set. Now the global zone, the big difference is the BioStar 2 server is the BioStar 2 server is the master of the zone. So you can include also TCP/IP connected devices, also devices connected through RS-485 as a slave, even devices which are connected by daisy chain. So this whole thing can be a global zone, a local zone. This can also be a global zone, even if you're just using TCP/IP devices. Now for the zones, some big part is the APB zone. Uh, in the free version, you can use the local APB zone, which can be only done by devices connected to RS-485. In the the Access Control Standard Edition, which is the licensed version, you can use the global APB. Set all devices to work as a global APB. I will show you this demonstration. Here's a table for the comparison, which you can see it's much larger than the BioStar 1. Okay. Now we also had in BioStar 1, there was a feature where you can set the schedule for the door to be locked in a certain time, even though this person has privileges, or it could be set as to be unlocked for a certain time. This is used for sites having a lot of customers coming inside and out. This feature was actually was used in I don't remember the country, but in McDonald's. So they use this our devices to do the access control, but in the morning and day and night they had to open the doors for the customers, so they used this feature. Now this was BioStar 1, it was configured from the doors, but now it has been changed to a zone. So it's actually got better because you don't have to configure every door for the lock and unlock settings. You can just create one zone, add the devices you want to, just set the time, and you can have it simply done. So these are the parts for the access control, the big parts. I will show you the details by the demonstration, also including the new feature from the 2.2.1. Now, for the encryption, this is just for your information. The web server, the client, it does the it communicates using the HTTP, or if you're considerate about the security, you can also use the HTTPS. The web server and devices connected through TCP/IP is using the encryption AES-256. Devices connected through RS-485 is using AES-128. Now, you can activate your license from using the settings, server, and license. You can request a license to your sales representative. These are the table for what's different for the AC standard, TNA standard. We have two types of licenses. The AC standard, I said, you can use the zones. Also, you can use server matching. The TNA part is the same with the free version. TNA standard is the access control part is the same with the free version, but in the TNA you can use more than one schedules. You can have more than 100 users per schedule. So that's the difference. We also support the automatic update. Most of the servers now connected will be updated during today, I think, maybe a day or two, because we have updated our cloud server. If you have the automatic update enabled, then it will be your system will be automatically updated to our new version 2.2.1. Now I'm going to show you the demonstration. This is the first screen. This is the server installed on my PC. Now, if you first install, you can see need help. It has all the information. For login, we have a default ID as admin and admin. I think it's stated somewhere. Yes, here, admin, and this is default password. Definitely, we recommend to change your password, which I didn't because it was test. Now, if I log in, this is the dashboard. We show you the usage here and alarm monitor. Some notices that you will have to upgrade the firmware for this version. Now, first let's add a device. Let's should add a device. I have two devices prepared with me right now. Let's see if we can add them right now. Uh-oh. Okay, one device just turned off. Just this one and this one. Sorry for the small resolution. Now two devices are added. This device is just turning on. You can hear the sound. Now, we have received a lot of inquiries relating to this sync error. But this is actually a very normal process. When you first add the device, this server and the device hasn't been synced. They have to exchange keys also for the encryption. So it's not synced with all the users, but you just have to... Okay, I'll reconnect. Yes, now we have two devices connected. You can just... So if you see this error, you just select the devices and you can just sync the device manually in the beginning. Once this is done, unless it has been deleted from the server, it will not be showing the sync error again. So this is kind of a process you have to do every time. Not every time, but yeah, actually every time you add a new device. In the first time, you will have to do the sync. Now, I will show you about the automatic sync. If you see the users inside, there's only user 1 here. This is also having user ID 1. I will just create a simple user. Macaulay. Oh, I didn't delete this. So here, now you can see we have an enrollment device. I will explain this later. I'll just create a user using, let's say, I'll just use today's date. Now if you apply, new user here, if you see the device, definitely inside. So it's automatically synced. If you see here, there's no template. Now, before I enroll my finger, I will show you that if you go to the settings on the top, if you go to the server, there are some new features that you might realize. Now, we have a enrollment device menu. So this is because when you enroll a finger or when you enroll a card, you will have to select one of the device that will read the finger or the card. Now, in my case, I only have two devices. It's not that hard to find a device for me, but when you have, let's say you have 70 devices, and one of the devices are installed in the HR office for the enrollment, you will have to find out 70 devices, and you'll have to select it. So, we created a feature where you can actually have a enrollment device. So if you select an enrollment device here, you'll see it later that it will appear on the top. So normally there's only one or two, maybe 3 to 4 devices that is used for the enrollment. So you can just register them as an enrollment device and you'll see it much easier. So once you actually select one device to enroll, that settings will be still there all the time. The next feature is called the custom user field. You can add now you can add a custom user field. So let's say I will add a combo box for what will be I'm out of ideas. Let's just say combo box. Now, example 1, you can use a semicolon to separate them. Example 2. Example 3. I'm gonna add a text input box, address. I'm going to add a social security number as a number input box. I'll show you the difference. Now I'll apply. Now if we first see the custom, you can see here, you can see the combo box. So as you can see, it was separated like this. You can use a semicolon. The address is for text. The security number, as you can see, if you put in characters, it just allows you numbers, so you can put in numbers. Now I will see this device. So if, as I say, if you have like a lot of devices, you have to scroll and find it from here, but you can just simply select a enrollment device from here. Now I will scan my finger. So I will enroll. Now I'll apply, go to device, select the device, which was not an enrollment device. If you see the manage user device, it has one template now. So if you go to the real-time log, you'll see authentication succeed from different devices. Now I haven't done anything. These devices were factory defaulted, so none of the settings. Now what I want to do is I want to create a door. I want to create a test door 1 using this device, using this relay. The dual authentication, it's for a feature where 2 people are needed for the authentication. You can set a approval type as last. You can make an approval group. But this you can just do on your own. It's not hard. I'll skip this part. Now I will create another door, test door 2. Use the other device, the relay. Now, if you can see, I will fail on the authentication because at this point, this device wasn't logically allocated to a door. So it was just nothing. Maybe it could be used for TNA. So it didn't have any reason to block the access. Now, since this door, this device has been connected to a logical door, which means it's actually can be connected to a physical door lock, exit button. So the one moment that this device was connected to a logical door, it has to block the access. Then this is the reason that my access was denied. Now I am going to delete these. Now I'm going to show you how to create a access level and an access group. As I said, an access level, test level, is a combination of a door, let's say both doors, and a time. Now I will create a schedule, time schedule. Okay, from Monday I am able to access from 8 o'clock to 6 p.m. I will copy these times. I'll set OK. Apply. Oh, sorry. Now, this is a level having these 2 doors with this time. Now, I have to create a access group. Test group will be the name. I will add the access level here. I will add the user group here. Oh no, actually I won't add a user group. I'll just add users for myself. Apply. Now I am, as you may noticed. Oh, sorry. This. Oh, maybe I did the settings wrong. Okay. The reason why did that happen was okay. Set time. Go to the door. Two doors. I'm not invalid access group. How can this happen? Okay, I think that I will just change one thing. Give me a moment. The device time is not set. Okay, sorry. The device time was manually set to a different time. Now, if we go back, I will change the time to the time we first set. Now you can see I can enter on both devices. Now, if I change the time, which I accidentally did already, let's go to the schedule. This is the schedule I use, time schedule. Now I will change this to 5 p.m. Now, the local time right now is 5:45 p.m. So if I change the time like this, then definitely I will not be able to enter this door. So you can set the times like this. Also, you can create another access level and include it in this. If I create one, you can have 128, maximum 120 access levels in one access group. Now you're done with the access groups. So you can control which user can go to which user can go to which door on which time. But there were some complaints in the past that it's hard to check which door is allowing which user, or which user can go to which door, because you will have to open it and go through all the users, but it was impossible. So we have added a new feature. You can see access group by door. So this door allows this user. This door allows this user on this time. If you go by user, this user can go to this door on this time. This user can go to this door on this time. So we have created a new feature. I almost forgot to mention, we have a feature for to distinguish long-term idle users, which are users that haven't been using the access control system. So it means that this user didn't authenticate through the devices. You can see the status of this user, because this user can be inactive or also active. You can have a CSV export for that users. You can save filters, and this is you can set it up to idle for over 6 months. So you can manage users from here. From here, you can manage the access privileges by door or by user. Now, once you have created the access control, now you might want some advanced features, as I said, anti-passback. So let's try to create a anti-passback zone. So this is a APB zone. The mode, it's not global. It's it's not local. It should be global. Since I have 2 devices, each connected with the TCP/IP, it will be active. The reset time means that the APB will reset after this minutes of the starting day. Now the entry device will be this one. The exit device, you can't use the same device for the exit. You can only use a different device. The network failure action means since the master is the BioStar2 server, when the devices get disconnected to the BioStar2 server, they will act as you said here. So if there's no master to distinguish if this user can pass or not pass based on the APB rule, if the connection is cut, then it will be a disaster. So you can set as the open by auth, which means you can authenticate and open the door. You can leave a record also, even though the door is opened, you can leave a record. You can just or make it door locked if if it's failed. I will just put it like this. The soft APB, I will just show you the difference right now. Bypass group, you can just set an access group that can bypass. I will not use it right now. So now it's done. Let's see. Now, oh, I will have to change the. Yeah, I'll just change it from here. I forgot to turn it back to always. Now I have 24 hours access to the store. If I go back, now I went to this store, test store 1. If I try to, you can see I still did succeeded, but you can see the APB zone, the violation has been detected, but the door still got unlocked and locked. This is the soft anti-passback. So it will show you, it will give you the logs that this user has violated the APB rules, but it will still open the door. Now, you already may notice, but if you change it to the hard APB, it will not give access, and it will show you an alarm. Access denied, hard anti-passback. So if I go through the exit device, I can go in, and now I can go back to the tester 1 again. I will quickly show you. If you set this bypass group from the APB zone configuration and apply, this is pretty obvious, but you're going to get, you can go whenever you want. So maybe this could be for management or certain users that shouldn't be locked by APB. You can set this bypass group for the APB zone. Now I'll just delete it. Let's move on to the scheduled lock and scheduled unlock. Now I will create a scheduled lock active for, let's say, door 1. Now you can now create a new schedule. Now I want to lock this place, lock schedule, from 10 p.m. That's what I want to do. From, let's say, just midnight for 2 hours. So this is the basic idea. Log this store on this schedule. Now, I won't do the bypass group right now. I'll just apply. To see this, I will have to change the device's time. So I'll turn off the time synchronization, change the time to 9:59, 45. Set time. Apply. I'll go to the monitoring. I'll authenticate. Now you can see the time is 6 seconds before 10 p.m. Now, the moment it turned to 10 p.m., the scheduled lock zone started. The door got locked. Now, if I try to authenticate, I will fail because of the forced lock schedule. So this device will be locked for the next 2 hours. So this is how it works. Now, bypass group, well, obviously, I'm allowed to pass, even though it was locked. Now, I will delete the lock zone and show you the unlock zone, which is the same. Excuse me. But there's a difference. I'll choose this store, use the same schedule. And yeah, I will apply. Go to the device, change the time do the same. Now, if I go to the logs, you can see that it's 6 seconds before. Now the door status is locked, but since it turned 10 p.m., it got unlocked. This is used when, as I said, if there are a lot of customers going out, in and out through the door. But there could be a case like, let's say you set this at 8 a.m. in the morning, but there could be a situation where no employee arrives there on because of some kind of a schedule, maybe an accident. So we have a feature to set it with started by user authentication. You will have to, if you activate it, you will have to set a an access group that will start the user scheduled unlock zone by an authentication. Now, let's go back, set the time back to same. Now I will authenticate it. Same. Now 7 seconds. It should lock the door, but as you can see, it didn't. If you see the time, this is a finger that I didn't register. If you see the time, it's past 10 p.m. but still didn't unlock. But if I use my second finger, which is enrolled at that access group, you can see the scheduled unlock zone started. So you can use it in this case. So yes, this is kind of the major parts of the access control. We still already may know we're trying to add more and more features with the access group through the updates that we have. I will show you some more features that has been added. We have a database backup. This is the default. You can check use the interval, so you can do it daily, weekly, monthly. You can choose the day of the week, or you can choose the day of the month, which will do the backup. You can set the time. Normally, it's appropriate to do this on the time where nobody has to enter here, because when the SQLite is a file type DB, so when making a backup, the server will stop for a certain time, and when the backup file is created, it will start again. So we really recommend to do this on a time where there are no users. So this is why we put this is actually the default value. This is the reason why we put the default value as 3 a.m. The location /bk, this will be here on the BioStar2. Sorry, here there will be a bk created since this hasn't been done. So you can see the BioStar is restarted. Can be stopped for several minutes. This is the server matching I've been telling you about. Since we have about 10 minutes or a little bit more late to wait, I will take some questions. Yes, Mr. Abdu, it's good to see you. Mr. Abdu has asked if he can set time to open close the door automatically, which I show you with the scheduled lock zone and unlock zone. So at a hospital, at the visiting time, you can use the scheduled unlock zone. Then after that time, the door, when the time it ends, the unlock zone will be finished and the door will be locked, but still can be opened by an authentication. However, if you set directly a lock time after that, then it will be locked and will not be able to enter unless you are in a bypass group, or if you or unless the time of the lock zone has been finished. Do you have any more questions, please? You can ask any types of questions. The web API, okay, Mr. Juan has been asking if the server matching will be supported in web API or device SDK. The device SDK is already supported, but you can't use it just using the BioStar2 device SDK. You will also have to use the licensed image SDK together, and then you can use the server matching. I am not sure if it's planned for the web API. If when you create a fire, Mr. Anu, when you create a fire zone, this when if it's a local, I mean, or global, if the network is down, then it will not work definitely. If that's the case, because when the input is sent, it will have to send the the commands to open the door. But I am not sure if this is based on the device input. So I will check. Sorry. Oh, I will check this part, and we'll get back to you when I send you this presentation file and the video. Okay. I will try to answer one by one. So, Mr. Ano, I will get back to you with more details because I don't want to make any assumption that it will work or not work. So, um, I will get back to you with your email. Mr. Abdul, BioStar2 supports TNA. Sure. You can just download the version 2.2.1 from our website, and you can install it including the TNA. Mr. Ayman, it's good to see you. Yes, a global setting for the enrollment quality will be included in the next version. We had a lot of features, other features also planned for the 2.2.1. We have been we have been hearing this for a lot, and we do agree that there should be sure. So I think in the next version it will change like this. The enrollment quality is now default by 40, but it will be set as 80 in the next version. Also, it will be able to change that enrollment quality for globally. Number 2, the TNA event is shown in no TNA event is shown in real-time monitoring. Do you mean the punch logs? For example, I'm sorry. So you're saying even though you have pressed the in key or any kind of TNA key, it's not appearing in here. Yes, this was actually designed because we were planning to show all these from the actual BioStar to TNA. But I will check if we can add this a TNA key to show you on the monitoring. Um, Even if it's not in plan, then I will get an answer of why we didn't do it. Juan, no, actually to use the device SDK, I mean the server matching with the SDK, you will have to have the image SDK. You don't need any AC standard license. You'll have to have the license for the image SDK. if the APB is configured and that time figure, the fire alarm is the highest priority. So Mr. Anu has been asking if the APB is configured and also the fire alarm triggered, what will be the action? The fire alarm has the highest priority because it's related to lives. So the fire alarm, when it gets triggered, it opens all doors, even though even if it's configured as the APB. The user ID was not shown when a schedule log was imposed. So do you mean, let's say, I will create a schedule lock, store with the schedule always. Uh-oh. What is happening? Oh, I didn't delete the schedule unlock, so I'm sorry. Oh, so you mean you want to see the user ID? Yes, okay, I will. I will. Yeah, I think it will be needed. I'll definitely send your opinion. Yeah, the TNA means yeah, in and out. Yes, it doesn't have show the in and out from the real-time monitoring. So I will see if we can add it and get some answers. The in and out board, Mr. Anu, we are going to. I think we do have a plan, but not in a near future, but definitely will be added maybe the end of this year or next year early. The device, oh, okay. This is a good question for Mr. Iman. Is AC standard license and devices to be on server mode is necessary for server matching? Yes, you do need AC standard licenses. I mean license, but in BioStar 2, there is no technical difference between the direct mode and the server mode. In BioStar 1, it was different. It was using different ports, but now in BioStar 2, it just used the same ports, the same technical, so you don't have to set the device in server mode. You can just, because I can use right now server mode, I mean server matching, but I've added the devices by direct mode, but still can use it. The integration with payroll, Oracle payroll system. I'm not sure of the details, but I think you can send us an email on what kind of system you are trying to integrate. This is for Mr. Kareem. Mr. Ahmed Ghanem has been asked. I had two BioStation A2 on BioStar 2. The device is connected and working properly, but when I opened device tab, I found yellow. Yes, I have explained in this the earlier. Maybe you have missed it. I will show you. Okay, I'll have to delete the zone. I hope you're watching. If you add the device for the first time, you'll see a sync. This is a icon for the sync error. If this is normal. At the first time you add the device, it doesn't sync with the server. You just have to click the devices and click sync device. You'll get a message, and it will turn to normal. Okay, Juan. Any news on support for dual I? Yes, we are planning to add a new card reader. I'm not sure if it's going to be the dual I DE D DE620. It could be more than one readers, but yes, we are definitely trying to add a USB card reader. If the device is offline and once the device is back, will it sync users access groups automatically? Yes. If it's just still here on the device list, it will sync the users and the access groups automatically. I'll demonstrate access on card. Okay. I will quickly try to demonstrate access on card after I answer the questions. Is there any setting available for setting device to accept card link? Yes, you can change the operation mode from here. If you go to the device and you will see a auth mode here. You can delete fingerprint, delete ID, and if you modify this, this will be card only. In this case, if you see, you can see invalid credential because this device has been set to use card only, but I used my finger, so it will show you invalid credential. If the server matching is enabled and the network is down, what will be the action? It will change to the device matching mode in that case. So I will quickly demonstrate the access on card. I will have to change the auth mode again. Finger. Yes. Okay. Now, this user has a fingerprint. The first thing you have to do is you have to go to the card format and create a smart card format, which I created already in AOC test. You can set the start block index for default. You can set change the template count from here. I will apply. Now, after you create one, you have to apply it to the device. At the bottom of the device configuration, you'll see from the authentication, you'll see card ID format. You have to choose the layout. Now, if I go back to the user, first I will read my card using this device. Oh, sorry. I will read the card. This is a card I've been using, so it has the information here. So I'll format it, read it again. It'll read the CSN because there's no information inside. Now I'm going to enroll a smart card using enroll device. I will do an access on card. I have the card ID. As I said, you can't change it. If you see a secure credential, you can change it. But for the access on card, you are forced to use the user ID. You can also, the pin is stored. And if you have to select the fingerprint that you want to store. I select this fingerprint, and I will write a smart card. Now, if you go back, yes, definitely this is going to be work. But now in this device, I will delete the user. As you can see, no user. But still, I still can go inside. Okay, so this was the demonstration for the access on card. As you can see, still no user. But still, I can go inside. 3-level authentication will not be supported. For now, it's only for dual, 2 persons. Interlock zone will be added in the future. Sorry we couldn't add it right away. So we are trying to implement all the BioStar 1 features into BioStar 2, but also have additional features. But definitely I will make a report that customers have been asking for the interlock zone, and actually they did. So well, from here I will I will stop the recording. Okay, thanks for hearing, and I will send you the video files.